Hello people, what's up? Welcome back. So let's start with your 14th chapter. That is, we are going to begin with internal audit. We did have some references in the previous chapter. If you guys remember, we had seen about this in your 8th chapter as well. So few references will be there to the 8th chapter, but nonetheless, when you guys are reading, you guys can read it as a whole, so that you guys will have a consolidated view. And whenever a question is being asked, you need to target it from the 14th chapter's perspective. Yeah. Okay, but yes, let's begin about the next topic, that is your internal audit and performance audit. So the first part will be focusing on the internal audit part. Okay. Now, what do you mean by an internal audit? If I have to just say from a layman's perspective, what does internal audit mean? By now we know what do you mean by an audit. What is audit? What is audit? Audit means something where a performance by a person has been done. Now whether this person has done his or executed his performance properly or not, someone has to come and monitor. No, if that is not happening, how are you sure that whatever the person has done, is it right or wrong? How do you know? So someone has to always check or supervise the work you have done, so that it will act as an assurance to the company, so that yes, everything is sitting right, everything is going right. If not, what is going to happen? The people sitting in the top will never be aware of what is happening at the bottom layer. There will be so many hierarchies, right? How do you ensure that whatever is happening in the company? See, when I speak about a company, the company consists of various departments, but the people sitting at the top, they need to be aware of what is happening in each such department. Initially, people, when I go back to our the father ages and all, back then, like 30 years, 40 years back, internal audit was not a field which is very rosy and fancy and you feel like you need to take it up. There was nothing much about it except finance. Internal audit was just revolving around the finance or the physical count of assets, whether the assets are proper, are they properly safeguarded, do you have proper entries, and and anything with regards to your accounting related or something regarding or revolving around accounting. That is what everything was around. But yes, of late that particular department has grown. It has grown multifold, and today when someone asks you what is internal audit, it is not only about finance or it is not only about policies, it is beyond that. It is much more than that. So to ensure all that, we are coming up with one external another department, and that is only called as internal audit. Now logically think, you guys can also be thinking that yes, I am aware of what you are thinking. Sir, whatever you are saying. Now if I have to tell you one simple thing, people, let us imagine now in a company, for example, okay, let us take Arivu only. Now in Arivu, there can be some students will come for admission. Now, what is the guarantee that this process is going right from the board of directors point of view? Now, for example, there can be a department called as printing department. You guys will be ordering for the books. Now, whenever you are ordering for the books, now you think, from my point of view, I'm sitting in the top. Now, how do I ensure that the right book gets printed and the right books get shipped? Now, how do I ensure that? Now all this once in a while. Now what do you guys do? You only think, logically think. What do you guys think the directors will do? The directors will implement something called as internal controls. So they will bring in a process. They will bring in a system and they will bring in a process. Now people, of course, the process is set, but are you sure that the process is really working fine? It's accurate? Now what do we do? There will be an internal person again. See, what is the difference between an external audit and an internal audit? An external auditor comes once in a while. It's like a post-mortem, meaning already everything has happened. It is done. But internal audit people, it is a wing that can be built within the company. Now people will do both the types. A few people will have their own employees doing their internal audit, but a few people can also get an external person They outsource this internal audit to them and they will do the internal audit. Now, if you speak about some big companies, listed companies and all, a few companies, for example, internal audit cannot be taught without speaking about a person called Satyam. Internal audit was the biggest failure in Satyam because the internal audit did not take proper shape. So Satyam failed because of lack of internal audit. Now what does internal auditors do? Now once in a while they keep going and checking the systems, processes you have set. They will do a sample test and they will say whether whatever is the process or system you have implemented, is it working fair or not. Now they will report it periodically to the management. Now you need not wait for a year end and then someone comes and then you go and say everything that happened in last 1 year is wrong. You need not go back to that day. Instead, you guys can correct everything internally with time. So this is what has been the internal audit. I know various, many of my friends who are in internal audit, who are working in various industries of internal audit. So I do have some, I do speak with those people and keep getting a fair idea on what is happening, what are you doing. For example, I was speaking to one of my friends. Now this is again one of the companies. I don't know if I can say it or not. Okay, let us keep the name blank. Now I was asking him, so what do you do? He says, Sida, in our company there is one policy that the employees can give medical expenses and they can reimburse the money. So whenever you go to a doctor, you consult a doctor, whatever is the doctor's consultation fees, scanning fees and all, you can upload it on their portal and you can encash the money. So they have a system. Now this is what they thought, there is a system and people are uploading the bills and they are claiming. But few set of employees, what they did, they went to one doctor and few people created their own doctors, like you only come up with your own letterhead. Yeah, now and what did they start doing? They started uploading the bills. Now when did the management get to know? The management saw that not the management. So they felt something is happening. So when the internal audit team, they started doing sample test or the test audit, some 3 to 4 employees data was such that they're all coming from the same doctor or same hospital. And they went into detail that they found that they're all nothing but namesake bills. They are printing their own bills. And they came to a stage where a person shared his idea and people did not even change the name of the doctor. They went ahead with the same person. So when I told with my friend, what will he think? Only 2 of us know. It can so happen that both of us go to the same doctor. Imagine he says to another person. And this became a routine. And now there is a restriction on that, you cannot do it. So see, now without internal audit, you will not find such errors or anything that is happening in the company. Yeah. Now sir, to have an internal audit, is it mandatory? Yeah, we have already seen that in chapter 8, but yes, we will be seeing it. So this is what I told you. Historically, the internal audit was only revolving around accounting and its related records, assets and organizations, and are they properly safeguarded? And next one is that the policies and procedures laid down by the management have been complied with. But yes, after the liberalization, LPG, liberalization, privatization, globalization, the scope of what the company is doing started increasing. And in the company, the size of the companies started increasing. And now they said that a person cannot do only this. With this, we will not be able to achieve our object. So the internal audit scope will be much beyond only these 3 things as on today's date. Yeah. Okay. Now, sir, let us see more about this internal audit. I've tried to simplify it as much as possible. You need not worry. So now what I've done in this particular topic is that, so I've tried to give you charts wherever possible, and same thing, as you guys know, I've given something called as dive deeper. Wherever they would have given a point, I would have given you what is that point, explanation on that, and an example, so that you guys will understand the length and breadth of the chapter and you will understand some topics in detail. This was always my understanding. Whenever a topic is dry, you feel it's dry, or whenever the topic is of only too much of English in it, there is nothing for me to actually remember. That's when these examples will come and help you. Try to link up the topics with an example. You remember the example, you remember the topic. If you remember the topic, that's not sufficient because it will not sit, because the topic is baseless. You feel something is happening. Yeah, so for that, this will help you. So this is something, it is called as you know, that is dive deeper. Okay. Now people, so what is the definition of internal audit? What do you actually mean by internal audit? Yes, people. So see, the definition of internal audit. Okay, we'll do it from here only. Yeah. Okay. Now, what do you mean by definition of internal audit? The internal audit definition as defined by IIA, Institute of Internal Auditors. It defines internal audit as, try to remember the definition. I've tried to, break it down so that you guys can remember the entire thing. You have to remember everything. It's one sentence only, one paragraph, sorry. It is an independent, objective assurance and consulting activity. It is an objective assurance and a consulting activity designed to add value and improve an organization's operations. It helps an organization accomplish its objective by bringing a systematic, disciplined approach to evaluate and improve the effectiveness of risk management, control, governance process. So try to understand. It is an independent object assurance and consulting activity. Meaning what, people? It is independent, meaning the people who are doing this, we expect you to give up with an unbiased opinion and not a biased opinion. That is what we are thinking of. You are giving an unbiased opinion. Objective assurance means, people, I come to you with some scope, meaning make sure that you check all these medical records and tell me that the employees are not misutilizing it. Now that's the objective given to you. And you check the entire data and you tell me, sir, it's absolutely fine. The people are doing, or the people are managing it absolutely fine. So that's an objective assurance for me. Yes, everything is working fine. And it's a consulting activity. Consulting activity, I can say that, what do you mean consulting activity? It can be done by an internal employee, or it can be even done by an external firm as well. And you go and speak to people, you go and conduct interviews with people, and then only you will be able to form your own opinion. Yes. Next one, it is designed to add value and improve an organization's operation. So why did we come up with internal audit? It is entirely designed to add value and improve the organization's operations. For example, people, now imagine, it can so happen that now I'm using one of the telecom, my SIM. I'll tell you live examples only. Now what happened, from last 1 week, my internet is not working properly. Yeah. I tried to reach out to my operator. I'm not getting proper response. Now I go and speak to 2 people, 3 people. Everyone are more or less of the same opinion. Now what do I do? It doesn't take me one second to just port, because I know for a fact another operator is giving me a little better service. Now what I will do, I will lodge a complaint. Obviously, right? It's not like without trying, I will just port. I would have lodged my complaint and I would have mentioned my grounds. This is what is a problem I'm facing in the company. Now in internal audit, people, what you do, you also have one of your grounds. You go and check the complaints. You will know that compared to last year, now imagine what you can do. You can do analytical review. Compared to last year, where you had, say for example, some 20 crore connections, but this year it might have come down to 18 crore. You can imagine, for a telecom industry, if at all there is a dip of 2 crore, then why? That means something is problematic in your company. Now you can blame it on the infrastructure, correct? But now what I would say, that concerned team, whoever is taking the complaints, they are thinking it is just one who is walking out. Did you go and inform the concerned team that because of this, there are people migrating to different SIM cards? No. Now, if you had set it right, that means I wouldn't have left this company as a consumer. So now the internal auditor will come and pinpoint these things. The customer care department didn't play a good role in passing on the information. Now now what is that? Now improve organization's operations. Now what is that I need to improve? I need to make sure I bring in a proper channel of communication, so that whenever such complaints are registered, it has to get into the right team, so that some action can be taken. Now internal audit will improve such operations, organizations operations. So it is designed to add value as well as improve organizations operations. See, making sense? See, I'll tell you one thing. The entire industry will say this chapter is a little dry. But if you understand the entire industry, I have seen few people saying leave and go. Don't leave and go. Why? Let us put whatever is the maximum effort. You can remember everything, people, 100%. Yeah, okay, next one. It helps an organization accomplish its objectives by bringing a systematic, disciplined approach to evaluate and improve so see, it helps an organization accomplish its objectives, correct? Whatever I'm established for, I can focus on that. It will help me do that, correct? Now consumer care, imagine customer care, if that problem was solved, it will help you achieve your objectives. Next one, by bringing a systematic, disciplined approach. So you're bringing a systematic disciplined approach to evaluate and improve the effectiveness of now in your company you already have risk management. Whether is it working fine? We will try to improve that. Next one, we will try to improve the internal controls. Correct? As I told you, our Arivu departments only. So we will try to improve your internal controls. The third one, people, the governance process. What is governance? Nothing but compliances. Nothing but abiding by the law. Are you doing it on time? We are trying to improve this. So this entire thing is called as what, people? Are internal audit. That's the definition. Try to see it is an independent, objective assurance and a consulting activity. Correct? Okay. And why is it designed? It is designed to add value and improve and organize it. It is designed to add value and improve an organization's operations. Correct? Okay. It helps organization accomplish its objectives by bringing a systematic, disciplined approach so that three things works fine: risk management, control and governance. So if all these things are working fine, then from the board's point of view, that means your company is fine. You need not have to worry. Okay. Now, sir, internal audit as per Companies Act. According to Companies Act, what and all? So what I have done is, I have tried to take all the data. I've tried to see what and all are the different types of questions that can be asked. Based on that, I've just put all the points in this place. First one, we have already seen internal audit is applicable to whom and all. First of all, if you are a listed company, by default, it will apply on you. If at all you are an unlisted public company and if at all you have accepted deposits of 25 crore or more, see that that means inclusive 25, more than that also. Sir, paid up share capital of 50 crore or more, loans more than 100 crore, exceeding 100 crore. The words used are exceeding. So it has to be 100 crore 1 rupee. And the fourth one, turnover of 200 crore or more. All of this is or, meaning if even one condition is satisfied, you need to form a internal audit team. This is in a public company. Sir, what if it's a private company? Only the last two limits will apply, the loans and turnover part. Is this clear, all of you? Yes? Okay. Now see here. If you go in detail, what does the Act say? Paid up share capital of 50 crore or more during the preceding financial year. Meaning, I will take the last year's data. Now I am in 24-25. If at all in 23-24, if my paid up share capital was 50 crore, if my paid up share capital was 50 crore in my preceding financial year, then in this financial year, for me, internal audit will be applicable. In the same way, if I have turnover of 200 crore or more during the preceding financial year, in this financial year it will apply. Now third one, see here, outstanding loans or borrowings exceeding 100 crore or more. This is important at any point of time during the preceding financial year. Now what is the difference between these two and this? People, here what they are telling you, by the end of the year, if at all I have 50 crore, by the end of the year, if I have 200 crore, then people, this particular thing will apply to me. But whereas outstanding loan, people, imagine in the beginning of the year, if at all we had somewhere around 105 crore in say for example May 2023, and we repaid some 20 crore by the month of October. You repaid. Now your loans went down. Now it is just 90 crore. Now, should I still form an internal audit? The answer is yes. They're telling you at any point of time if it touched, then you have to form an internal audit. Remember, there can be a question here. The same rule applies even for deposits also, 25 crore at any point of time during the preceding financial year. Is this clear, all of you? Any doubt? So for loans and deposits, they have this rule. For loans and deposits, they have this rule. That's why I have kept these two as red. Wherever it is red, that means it is at any point during the preceding financial year. Remember that and go. Okay, private company people, same, loan exceeding 100 crore, turnover 200 crore or more. Is clear, all of you? Okay, and some questionable points with regards to internal audit. An audit committee or board. Wherever a company has an audit committee, if an audit committee is not there in a company, then it will be the board of directors. So audit committee or board in consultation with the internal auditor. So what this committee or the board will do, they will go and they'll speak to the internal auditor, and what they will do, they will draft something called as scope, function and periodicity and methodology for conducting the internal audit. So it's like a manual. We will come and we'll say, okay, you have to do this, that will be your scope, and what and all can be your functions while doing it, and periodicity, how frequently should you do? Does Companies Act prescribe any periodicity? The answer is no. Companies Act is silent on the periodicity. We will see what does the Companies Act say in that, but if is Companies Act prescribing anything, the answer is no. Companies Act is silent on it. And the methodology for conducting the internal audit. Now, what do you mean by the methodology part, sir? How do I have to conduct the internal audit? It is prescribed. So, any methods, any steps, whether all these things should be considered, now that is what is given under this particular thing. Clear? The Act does not prescribe any specific time frame for conducting internal audit, but it is considered as a good practice to conduct the internal audit on a quarterly basis. See, this can be one of the questionable point. Try to concentrate. What are they telling you people? See here, what are they saying? They are telling you that Companies Act is silent on the periodicity. Unlike our statutory audit, secretarial audit, where they have given us timelines, but internal audit is silent on that. So what, sir? Should I not conduct at all? They're telling you do it, but make sure it is done on a periodicity is silent. But at least it is voluntarily try to do it at least quarterly once, so that it will be effective. If you are not doing it, then the employees also will go to their back seat. Okay, next one. Internal auditor can be an individual or a partnership firm or a body corporate. See, this can be again important. They can ask you, who can be an internal auditor? Is it always an individual? No. I told you people, remember, internal auditor can be as an employee of the company, meaning you hire him and you can do it within house, in-house. So that means they are your employees. You do not want to manage in-house. Now what you will do? You will outsource. If you are outsourcing, you will outsource it to some body corporate, or you will outsource it to some, say for example, LLP, a firm. You will outsource it to them. That's what they are telling you. So internal auditor can be an individual or a partnership firm or a body corporate. And what is the qualification of them? They shall be a CA or CMA. Sir, what about CS, sir? Can we do internal audit or not? Remember people, CS is not specifically written. But are you prohibited from taking it up? The answer is no. It is written as such other professional. But hey, macha, you don't become self-motivated and write off CS also. CS is not specifically written. So you have to write it as CA or CMA or such other professional as decided by the board. That's why it is there for you. If not, why will you read? Correct? So that you can also be, but frankly speaking, not your area of expertise in reality and in practical life. That's what I'm trying to say. Your scope and domains won't come here. And even you think from a person who is hiring also. You know for a fact you are a legal expert. It makes not a really big sense of hiring a legal expert into the accounting driven field. Correct? Yes, but can you do? Yes, you can do. Appointment of internal auditor. Now, where do we appoint the internal auditor? Appointment of internal auditors shall be done only by a board resolution passed at board meeting. Now, what do you mean by that? First thing, people, there has to be no shareholders approval required for appointing an internal auditor. That's the first point. Second point, people, with regards to in which meeting are you appointed? You are appointed in a board meeting by a board resolution. Why are they focusing on board meeting? Because people, you cannot do it, what is that? You guys would have heard of resolution by circulation. That is not possible. Meaning there has to be a board meeting conducted. It cannot be only a paper notice. That is not sufficient. Yes, Sam? Okay. So, board meeting is sufficient. On appointing an internal auditor, the resolution should be filed with the registrar in e-form MGT 14. Remember, important. Whenever you appoint an internal auditor, it has to be intimated to ROC in the form MGT 14 within 30 days. However, in case of a private company, if they are doing it, sir, for them this filing of MGT 14 is not required. So if I have to sum up all these things, what can I sum it up, people? First one, audit committee or board, they will come and they will discuss with internal auditors, they will form something called a scope, periodicity and all. However, as per the act, the periodicity is silent, they have not prescribed anything. But it is always advisable to do it quarterly basis. And the next one, who can do it? It can be an individual, it can be a firm, or it can be a body corporate. So what we are learning here is it can be an in-house employee, or it can be given it to the outside department as well. And next one, who will do it? It's a CA, CMA, or such other professional person as decided by the board. Next one, how to appoint board resolution and board meeting, and you will intimate ROC in form MGT 14 within 30 days. For private company, this part is exempted. Hello, clear? Sure? Okay. So, wonderful. That's your Companies Act. They have given a case study. They have given you a real life scenario. Practical scenario. ABC Private Limited having 90 lakhs paid up capital, rupees 5 crore reserves, and turnover of last 3 consecutive financial years immediately preceding the financial year of being rupees 50 crore, 175 crore, 300 crore. Turnover. So I'll have to appoint. Yes, I have to appoint. Will the partnership firm or proprietary firm mandatorily required to appoint internal auditor? Why does Companies Act apply to sole proprietor and partnership? The answer is no. If they want, they can do it on a voluntary basis. The management of XYZ Private Limited appointed Luthra and Co. Chartered Accounting Firm as internal auditor of the company, who is also a statutory auditor. How unfair it is, can a statutory auditor become an internal auditor? Is it allowed? Obviously no. Hey, then how will be an object assurance? Then what will you guys only will do everything, you will only correct. Will it help? No. So that's why you would have seen this in your auditors chapters also. A statutory auditor of a company cannot give certain services. If you are only an internal audit, then where is the purpose served? The answer is no. Not possible. Okay. Sir, penal provisions for default or non-compliance as per section 450 of Companies Act. If company or any officer of the company or any other person contravenes any of the provision of this act or the rules made thereunder, or any condition, restriction or approval, consent, recognition, direction, exemption in relation to any matter has been accorded, given or granted, and for which no penalty or punishment has provided elsewhere. In this section it is not there, and because of which a company and every officer shall be liable for penalty of not less than 10,000 rupees, and in case of continuing contravention, with a further penalty of 1,000 rupees for each day after the first day during the default, which can go up to maximum of 2 lakh rupees. 10,000 rupees minimum per day, continuing 1,000 rupees can go up to 2 lakh rupees. That's the penalty. Again, there is one real life case law they have given in the matter of Indu Nissan Oxo Chemical Industries Limited ROC. In this case, what happened, people? ROC appointed an investigating officer. They were investigating into the affairs of this particular company, and they found that in spite of the limits being breached, the company had not appointed their internal auditors, and they had not appointed for quite a long time. If you see, the company had failed to appoint internal auditor from 2014 to 2021. Lottery. For 7 years they did not apply. 7 years they did not appoint. Then what are you doing? So ROC also sent a notice. Dey macha, I'll have to hang you for this. What do I do? So the company said, sir, we are extremely sorry. We were in ICU. We were in coma. So because of that, we were not able to give any focus on this particular section. Please, if possible, mannuchudunga. So they said sorry. So people, now what they said, you first of all, did ROC leave them, and what is this coma? Coma is nothing but, people, there is a act in India, it is called as CCA. CCA is nothing but Sick Industrial Companies Related Provision, meaning if at all you are not doing financially good, then you will come under CCA. It is taken care by one industry called as BIFR, Board for Industrial and Financial Reconstruction. So they said the company was under that, and the company was not doing financially good. So we had our reasons. Can you please excuse us? ROC said, hey, excuse and all are not possible. I will levy penalty, but I can reduce it for you. And he said the company and all the officers, company has to pay 1.4 lakh and all the officers have to pay 1.4 lakh. And that was the final judgment. Clear? Yes, any doubts? Okay. Now, the next topic, people, they say about us, role of company secretary as an internal auditor. Meaning, when you are appointed as an internal auditor, then what will be your role? Of course, see, internal auditor, whoever, you are the internal auditor or anyone else is the internal auditor. The role will remain same only, no? But yes, one pitching that we are doing, no, let us have some specific point for us. That's why this point is there. Okay, we'll see. Company secretary as an internal auditor allocated in the act is expected to ensure proper following of accounting standards and conventions by the company. Touch your heart and say, do you know accounting standards? Touch your heart and say, don't ask me where is your heart. Touch your heart and say, do you know? No. Then you are telling you will go and check. That's what I said. Sir, no sir, ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है sir? I will prepare and go, sir. Okay, then you can do. Then it's for you. Generally, no. Next one, ensure audit of the company's financial statements. Make sure auditor, AU, CSO, you call CA and tell him, macha, first auditor. They are not telling you to audit, don't get confused there. They are telling you to ensure the financial statements are audited on time. Okay. Ensure management of compliance timely and properly and true representation of management funding and financial risk in business. Nothing but, people, management of compliance. Compliance means, yes, your area of expertise, make sure that the laws and all this are being followed properly. The company is abiding with all the applicable laws. And true representation of management funding and financial risk in business. We'll be seeing this again also. But nothing but, yes, are we doing good with regards to finance? How is our debt going? Is debt going over and above what we can handle? So keep an eye on the overview, overall things, what is happening. Ensure safely keeping of records of meetings held in the company. Okay, this is for us. This is for us. Okay, not bad. So what are they telling you? Minutes of the meeting, the documents, ensure that these documents are preserved and safely kept for whatever is the duration required. Provide required advisory on finance usage and corporate litigation. Abba macha, you have to give advisory on finance usage, it seems. FM. FM is your area only, no? You know everything, no? In FM. Again, macha, not for you. Financial usage is again, people, it's nothing but, I would say it's a role of a CFO or it's a role of probably a financial consultant who is expertise in that, who can actually advise a company on how exactly are the finances of the company going. Are we over-capitalized or are we under-capitalized? So this will be given by a financial expert. But if that is your domain, then yes, why not? But according to me, no. Corporate litigation, yes, possible. Probably any of the disputes that the company face, that can be yours. I'll give this. So I'll give half one beda. We'll keep it as half mark. Okay. Ensure proper management of capital, debt and tax planning. Hey, Kalla. You will only do Macha, you only tell me capital, debt, again technically people, this is also FM only people, financial management. So we also have no, sir, FM, correct. Then you are, if at all you are practicing, then yes, it is for you. Jihad. People, prepare cost structures and representing efficiency indicators of the business. So we took some job of CA also. Now you're taking some job of CMA also. People, preparing cost structures, people, is nothing but what is the per cost of your product. You come up with a detailed analysis of where, how much are we incurring, what is the profit being made, and is that business happening efficiently? Marketing, it can be sales, it can be production. Is it happening efficiently? Again, you look into it. Design audit methodologies and reporting criteria. Audit methodologies, how and all it happens. Reporting criteria, you are done with your audit. Now, what should I do with the document? Shall I go and give it to Belpuri Anna? He will give everything. What do we do with the documents? You have to go and report it somewhere, right? So that is what is reporting criteria. Of course, internal audit, you will be reporting not to any other authorities. You will be reporting it to your board only. Correct, all of you? Oh, okay. Now, appointment of internal auditor, we saw certain best practices adopted by companies in terms of internal audit. Some companies are doing it themselves. What are that? Nothing much they have given. Airtel, the company has 100% independent audit committee. The company has a robust internal assurance group led by chief internal auditor, supported by reputed independent firms. So they have outsourced it. They do not have in-house. Cipla Limited, Cipla da. Yaud Cipla? What is Cipla da? Cipla is that medical pharmacy. Independent assurance report on non-financial or sustainability performance. The audit committee reviews and approves the non-audit services availed from the statutory auditor and confirm that such services did not affect the independence of the auditor in any matter. So see here, independent assurance report on the non-financial or sustainability performance. The audit committee reviews and approves the non-audit services availed from a statutory auditor. If you actually remember, people, on statutory audit, they say that certain services cannot be given by a statutory auditor, which is all financial. But can we take non-financial services from them? That's what they have given here. And if at all you have taken also, this internal audit team, they are telling that we have inspected that and we are assuring that it is not going to affect us in any way. And what is the service we took? Sustainability performance. What is sustainability? Imagine I'm taking a service where I'm telling using this product is it good for the environment or not? How is it related with your audit? That's what they're telling you. Clear? Okay, and they have given others also, nothing much here. And next one, terms of reference, will come back. Okay, we'll do an easy topic, that is internal auditors skills. Internal auditors skills. So to become an internal auditor, what are the skill set you need to possess? Again, a simple thing only, but they have given. Okay. Now, what are the skill sets, sir? The skill set is, people, you have to be, of course, the professionally, you have to be fit, you should not have negligence, or you have to have due diligence, or you should not be an idiot, or all that should be there, 100%. I'm not saying no. In addition to all of that, people, they are also telling you that you need to have two sets of skills. And what is that, people? One is called as general skills, one is called as specific skills. What is that general skills, sir? The general skills, people, wherever it is possible, I've tried to give an acronym. If it can be made, I made it, and it's called RAID it. RAID it, macha. You become an internal auditor, you can RAID it. The IT raids and all happen, no, RAID it. Sir, general skill to become an internal auditor. What are the general skills? Generally, technical standards. The internal auditor should have adequate knowledge of the applicable Indian accounting standards. Correct? Technically, you should have that, no? You all have that, no? 100% no. That's what they're telling you. You need to have in-depth knowledge of the accounting standards. If not, how will you do it? Because it is, see, even though I'll give you whatever history, I know it is going beyond what earlier companies used to follow. 60% to 70% of your job will be revolving around accounts. That is money, monetary. Yeah. Okay, next one. Positive attitude and interpersonal skills. Be positive, da macha. No matter who scolds you, be smiling and just be positive and again come back. See, the internal auditor should possess positive and objective attitude, free of any prejudice. Objective attitude means people, I should be unbiased. Prejudice means people damaging. So my objectiveness, my independence should not be damaged at any given point of time. If not, I will not be able to give it a proper report. He should possess good interpersonal and communicational skills. So you should be able to talk. See, that's why I tell you, you have to start coming out of your shell, comfort zone. IT skills. With the rapid proliferation is nothing but people, something is growing multifold, not organically, inorganically, multifold it is growing, of information technology. Nothing but that today IT knowledge is required, Noda. Can you do everything still in a old school method with only books and ledgers? Not possible. You need to have knowledge of information technology as well. That is what they have given here. You need to have IT skills. You need to know how to manage softwares. You need to know how to do it. Interviewing skills. Why, sir? Because obviously you will be talking to people and only then you will be getting the data. End of the day, audit is all about that, right? You have to go and interview. Interview means what, sir? I'll take one mic and I'll stand in the reception and I'll keep talking to people. How was your day? What was the day? Can I keep doing all that? You're not a food blogger, da. I'm telling you need to do a specific client related interview based upon your scope. Meaning you need to clearly go and speak to a particular department. Speak to them what are the hurdles and hardships they are facing. Based on that, you will be able to form your own report. So interviewing skills. So you will be able to talk. You have to go and talk to people. Based on that, only the reports will be formed. Okay, next one. Audit documentation skills. Documents are nothing but people, the evidences you collect during the audit, your audit assignments, which speaks about the audit program. What and all you are going to do, how you are going to do, how many people are required, what is the frequency of audit, what and all are the departments you need to check. Now, where will all that be written? It is nothing but we have seen from all our previous chapters. There is something called as documentation. In that there will be evidences also, adequate evidences. The evidences, you need to have so much of evidences to make sure you guys will be able to form a proper opinion. And once the opinion is formed, you are going to report it to whom? We are obviously going to report it to the board. Correct? So all issues are reported objectively and process gaps are addressed properly. So if at all there is any gaps, I told you that the SIM card where they had some gap. So the communications, so there is some gap. Now I have to go and address that. I have to tell that, sir, here, this is what is happening. Understood? Yes, sir. So these are all general skills. Read it, sir. R for reporting skills. A for positive attitude and interpersonal skills. I for IT skills. And D for documentation. I for interviewing. T for technical standards. Remember. Clear? Yes, okay. The next ones are specific skills. So these are generally you should have with SIMS. Then what are those things which I have to have specifically? Specifically, you need to have planning, audit, engagement. Obviously, this you have seen even in the previous thing also. When you are appointed people, they will ask you, imagine you are a firm. They will ask you, how long would you need to do this audit? So planning starts from there. You will talk to them. You will come with a scope. Based on that, there will be an audit plan. Based on a plan, you will come up with audit program. Correct? Planning is, it says how many days, how many people, and this is what you will do. That is called audit plan. Audit program will clearly say, in your team you have around 100 people. How many, now each people, what will be their role? Which person takes care of which department, so that you do not end up with two people auditing the same department. Waste of time, no? Hey, correct or no? That's what they are saying. Next one, sir, team building. Team building means what? You should be able to work in a team environment. You should not be selfish. They say this involves collecting people and facilitating coordination among them to ensure that they work as a unified team. It involves identification of team leaders, delegation of authority, motivating the team, communicating to them the results expected. So nothing but imagine, they are telling you, if you are the head of the internal audit, what and all you will do? You will have to form a proper hierarchy. Excuse me. You have to form a proper hierarchy. There has to be a team leader, there has to be a manager. Tell them what are they here for. So you should be able to once in a while pump their self-confidence. Next one, managing audit engagement. So what did you do here? You planned it. Once you have planned, who will implement it? My tata will come and implement it? No. That's what they are telling you. You should only implement. No. Yes or no? Managing your audit engagement. That is nothing but administration of the audit assignment. So now we'll start the field work. You go, you will talk to people, you will start doing the sample testing. And overall, above everyone, you are sitting. What are you doing? You are going to supervise, you are going to administer. If there are any hardships, how do I address that? So that is what you are going to do. Making professional presentations. Nothing but people PPT. Sir, idella skill. Yes, skill only. You need to know how to make PPT. Sir, in that we have Oscar award only. I know. That is what you need to do. So, your team will come and communicate with you that what is wrong, what is right. And that you should have a presentation skill to properly communicate it to the concerned department. Imagine if audit committee is there, you will communicate it to audit committee. What if audit committee is not there? You will communicate it to the board of directors. An experienced internal auditor should be able to make effective presentations to the audit committee. This would involve selecting and presenting the major issues that warrant senior management attention in a clear and unambiguous manner. So you have done your entire audit for this quarter and you will go and say, sir, the consumer related departments, it can be customer care, that department is not working efficiently. Sir, in production, we are having a lot of wastage. If we can minimize that, our cost will go down. That's where we are burning a lot of cash. Now it's a serious issue. It will be escalated to the senior management and you cannot give him 100 pages PPT. You have to tell it in a crisp way, but you have to tell it in a clear way. That's what they're telling you. Next one is people, knowledge management skills. What do you mean by knowledge management skills? First one, people, you need to know, if imagine you are a firm who is consultants, the internal audit is outsourced to you. Nothing but until whatever we have done till now. What do you do? The first thing, audit. You will try to understand what and all are the laws applicable on them. What are the industries they are working in? In their industry, what and all they have to abide by? What and all are their responsibilities? An internal auditor either has or obtains sufficiently detailed knowledge of the operations of the entity, what they do. You need to have that entire knowledge. Okay, after I have that, as well as constituents of the external environment in which the entity operates. For example, the industry in which they operate, manufacturing, the regulators they come under. Imagine listed SEBI, imagine if SEZ, they will come under SEZ, the customers, etc. Some of this knowledge might be confidential and critical to the working of the entity. For example, some knowledge, customer data will be confidential. You cannot share it. Imagine banks. The customer data is confidential. So you need to handle it carefully. The internal auditor needs to have skills to effectively manage the knowledge. For example, deciding on issues such as, now what you have done in this step, you have acquired knowledge. You did your research, you got to know that the company is into this department, this regulator, this laws, this is what are the departments that in the company. You got to know the entire knowledge. Now having this knowledge, what will you do? Is it of any use? No. So you need to put your knowledge into use, right? That is what they're telling you. The knowledge is taken. Now you need to effectively manage that knowledge, and that is what is this. What you will do? First you will collate the knowledge. Okay, that means everything put to one place, collate, merge. How and where to apply the knowledge? You will decide, okay, I'll try to correct this, I'll try to correct that. Assessing which team member needs what type and quantum of knowledge. Now you have the entire data of the overall industry. I will think, I got to know, right, that in manufacturing there is a lot of wastages. What I realized? Then I have to give this entire data to the person who is the senior of the manufacturing team. So I have to give this data to that head. That's what they're telling you. Assessing which team member needs what type and quantum of this knowledge, data what you have accumulated. Next one, assessing when the knowledge has become obsolete and needs updating. Now you might have taken this entire data last year. Will it be valid even for this year, next year? How long it is valid? Obsolete means, people, something which is no longer required. It's like expiry date. Its use is done. Okay, you need to know when to update your knowledge. Establishing the relationships between various pieces of knowledge and assessing how the same affects the internal audit. So you got the data in bits and pieces. Can you bring in all of them together, and overall what will be the impact on the internal audit and on the company? Can you do that? Okay. For example, if now I said costing, that the manufacturing department, there is a lot of wastage. One more department that I need to concern is with regards to finance department, because there is wastage. Now it is your duty to make sure that the finance is always in control. Can you bring down the per cost, cost of per product? Can we bring it down? Then it is a saving, right? That's why they always say in the industry, what is that? Your savings is your first earning. So first you try to cut down the cost, that will become your first earning. That's what all the entrepreneurs say. Your saving of something will be your first earning. That is always very, very important. Correct? Okay. Deciding on manner and channels of flow of information. What is simple? The customer care only. If you got data, how will it get transferred to another department? Sir, this channel, should it be a confidential channel or should it be there in the public domain? What will be the data? People know whatever I'm telling you, I've tried to put everything here. See, a role of company as an internal auditor, I've given you everything with examples. And now whatever we are doing, knowledge. Now see, collating the knowledge. For example, let us take one example for this only, whatever we saw. See, deciding on manner and channels of flow of information. Choosing the best way to share the knowledge within the team. If critical information about regulatory changes needs to be communicated quickly, the auditor might decide to use a secure internal messaging system rather than email to ensure timely dissemination. For example, it can be your Skype. For people who are working, you will know it has to just come as an update, because you never know whether people will check their emails or not. See, an effective way of communication. Correct? Next one, sir. Next one, benchmarking skills. What is benchmarking skills? Nothing but people try to become the highest standard and try to compare yourself with how the others in the industry are working. For example, Infosys will try to compare with Tata. Tatas are here. Can we also be there? Can we go up the ladder? Can we only become benchmark in whatever we are following? Possible? Try to do that. Yes, sir. Pakkana. Okay. Besides the above skills, an internal auditor should also possess. So you should have all the above skills, sir, general and specific. In addition to that, sir, you should also have analytical and critical thinking skill. Correct? Analytical and critical thinking. What is analytical? Analytical is nothing but people. I will combine this and this. See, what is here? You have given something called data mining and analysis and analytical. I'll try to combine everything. Data mining means what, people? You guys know what did Rocky Bhai do in KGF movie? What did he do? Anna Bond did gold mining. Correct? Kya chahiye re tere ko dunya? Tere ko kya chahiye re? Data. Now people, that is only called as data mining. Hey, what do you mean by data mining? You have computers. The computers are there for the last 20 years. You have so much of data, but the data without knowing how to take and what to take, what is the use of it? That is only called as data mining. Accumulating the required data. You should be able to get that specific data. Okay, I need 3 years back's data. Do you have it? Can you get it? That skill is called data mining. Will you be people? Once what happened, one of this keeps happening, not once. Even recently also I saw it in one of that InShots news. Google has called one person for an interview because in his resume he had, what is your skills and hobby? He says, I know how to Google things rightly. Asking right questions to Google is also a skill. You should know how to ask. They will answer everything. Narayan Murthy has rightly said, artificial intelligence will never bring down the human race. It will just upgrade you. In the year 1996, when SBI wanted to upgrade all their physical files and they wanted to bring in systems, computers in 1995-1996, all the SBI employees went for 2 days strike. I'm telling you real life scenario. They thought that the computers are going to replace people, SBI employees. But you think, today let us imagine government will come and say, hey, all you SBI employees, you have to take away your computers and you have to work manually. They will die. So remember, in the same way, that day it was computer, today it is artificial intelligence. You need to know how to manage. It can be anything for that matter. There are so many things around you, right? Which is speaking about AI. You need to know how to manage. If you know people, you need not work. The person who fails in the upgradation is the person who will fail, who will fall, who will complain. If you go back to 1990s, this was a place called as Mysore, near Bangalore in Karnataka. So in this place, there were, those tongas, horse, what do you call, chariots. People, the commutation was only this horse from one place to another, tonga. They call it as tongas, horse, chariots. In 1990s, they started proposing autos. Autos started coming in. Now this Tonga Union, they said no, how can autos come? Autos should not come. You cannot bring in autos. The same auto union in the year 2014 to 16 said no to cabs. You cannot regularize cabs. See, if you can upgrade with life, people, it will be difficult, but if you can upgrade, you will never lose out your opportunity. The day you stop upgrading is when you will lose out an opportunity. I remember, people, my first day of the class, of course, I am the transitional teacher. We used to teach using, once I have taught with marker and board in one of the college, but after that, no. I was teaching with marker and board. Now I'm just wondering, how did I even, now we were doing that marker and board, and once we decided, okay, let us start bringing in the system where we'll get a iPad, we'll write and we guys will explain everything. Now when this system was proposed, now imagine camera, if you see I'm not moving, but traditionally how did teachers do? We all used to go around the class, we get some walk, we walk. Now I'm confined here. So my first class, people, I was literally sweating. I had told my students, if anyone asks doubts, I'll come and hit you. That was already I'm confined. I'm not able to write everything. See, this is what we are writing. This will be the size. In this I'm explaining everything. From going to 10 feet by 6 feet to this much 1 feet, wouldn't it make difference? And to come from that paradigm shift, now few people might have said no, not possible. Now I'm telling you people, I'm telling you literally, I cannot go back to that system, not possible at all. This is convenience. Correct? So upgradation is difficult. Change in life is difficult, but change is inevitable. The day you accept that people, life will be smooth and easy and breezy. Come back. Understood? Now I got data. Now using data, I did data mining. Now using data mining people, I need to know how to put it into use. Sir, 2 years back, when we are producing our material, imagine we are a production of chocolates, we produce chocolates. So 2 years back our cost was 50 paise per chocolate. Today it is coming to 55 paise. That 5 paise increase. Why? What has gone wrong? That is only called as analytical skills. Can you compare data and can you bring in why and what, because of what, and can you bring in the corrective measures? That's called analytical. Next one, good business acumen and the ability to understand different business needs. Business acumen means nothing but people, you need to have a good knowledge over the industry you are dealing with, so that you will be able to give whatever the business requires, because you have entire knowledge about it. Next one, he should have the ability to trace out facts and figures, meaning of the entire data. You should be able to pull out facts, not hearsay, and the proper figures. You should have that ability. Next one, should be methodical and tactful while dealing with people and processes. Interviewing you will be doing. What if they are cheating? What if you need to get right data? You need to know to whom and go and speak to, so that you know he will tell you what wrong is happening in the company. This happens in manufacturing. You go and speak to 1 or 2 employees who would have found out some shortcuts. They will tell you, sir, we are doing it this way, because of this it is happening. They will tell you. Yeah. To tell you one thing, I had one of my uncle who was working in, this was way too back. Now it might not happen. He was working in one of the soap industry. It seems one of the employee. So what they need to do, people, you can imagine like this, that, how do I tell you? Okay, imagine there are these soaps that will come. His duty is to make sure in one belt, in 1 minute, he needs to send 5 soaps. This person came out with one jugaad. Instead of keeping 5 soaps, if you keep 4 soaps also, he was able to manage that system. He came with that jugaad. So this one employee started doing, for that every 1 minute, instead of 5 soaps, he started doing 4 soaps. So 1 soap less, that's all. He found out a system. And in the next quarter, people, in a company's turnover, they could see some lakhs of difference. Lakhs, rupees. They were not able to find it out at all. What is happening, where it is happening. So my uncle was telling that there was this head of operations. So this person was very close to all these people, and one day he saw that, and he was speaking to these people, and he was telling, how is your job, how is everything. So this person said, the job is really good, I don't feel that much pressurized, he's doing good. So this person started feeling, everyone says if it is pressurizing, why is this person saying it is not pressurizing? There has to be something he is doing. So what did he do? The next day when he was doing his work, he started monitoring his work through CC cameras. And he found out that people, for every 1 minute, the production belt has been slowed down to 4 soaps instead of 5 soaps. Now what is happening to the output? Per minute, 1 soap is coming less. For 60 minutes, 60 soaps. For 9 hours, now it is left to you. And for 3 months, and that was a reason. there was lakhs of difference. Yeah, so you need to know how to talk to people and get work done. Okay, should be a hard worker, always cautious, vigilant and inquisitive. Inquisitive nature means what? They always say no. The cats are always inquisitive, meaning people, you're always curious. You should be always aware of, okay, what is happening there? What is happening there? You cannot, you have to be like our Indian aunties. What do? They want to know what is happening in your neighbor's house. I know outside the class that is a bad habit, but for internal auditor it is a good habit. Next one, should be courageous, assertive and determined with ability to take independent decisions. Courageous when you find out some fault. You should be able to take corrective measures on that. Should lead by being punctual, reliable, update with the latest knowledge. Punctual, be on time, reliable, don't do wrong, and make sure you upgrade your skills with time and set the right examples for the people to come by. Correct? Okay. Scope and objectives. We'll come back to that. We will just finish off one more topic we left in the top. And last ones are the terms of reference. What is this terms of reference, sir? The terms of reference is nothing but people, the overall scope of internal audit. Now what should we do? It has to be formalized. It should be written in one place. That's why the terms of reference, it is also referred as audit manual. What do you mean by audit? TV manual, computer manual. What do you mean by that? Everything with regards to this TV, you can find in this book like this. Everything with regards to internal audit, you should be able to find it in one book. And that book only is called as what, people? Audit manual. See here, the overall scope of internal audit should be formalized in terms of reference. It is often referred to as audit manual and approved by the board, normally through the audit committee. Where did we see this? We saw it somewhere. Where da? We saw it here, no? Correct? Okay. These should then be communicated to the functional heads within the organization. So according to the internal audit, I will refer everything knowledge and I'll prepare what we need to avoid, what we need to follow, and that manual will be given to all the functional heads. Under your department, you need to make sure whatever is coming, you are responsible. Internal audits, terms of reference or manual should provide clarity about. So what and all it should have about its strategy and objectives. So what are we trying to achieve and how? Objective. Role and responsibility within the organization. This department you need to do this. This department this. This department this. Scope of work. What and all should be achieved. Reporting lines for line management purposes. Reporting lines. If you come across any error or if you come across some fraud, how should you report? It can be even whistleblowing mechanism also. Accessibility to the board and the audit committee, if it is required, if it is serious, they should be able to talk to them. Unfettered access to all information, people and records across the organization. Now, the internal audit team, they do not have a stop at all, people. If a company you want to check whether how good their internal audit is, if they are allowed an access for everything, that means their internal audit is good and first class and working perfectly fine. You should not be stopped from anywhere, any place. If then your internal audit team is very good. So this should be the object of your manual. Yes, sir. So there will be direct questions asked on this chapter, people. Yeah, nothing to worry. So do one thing, you guys revise till here and come back, we'll catch in the next video. So thank you so much, read till here and then come back to the next video. See you in the next video. Bye.